Hi guys, welcome back to Alter Curated. Welcome back to my channel. This is the space where we talk about all things alchemy, destruction, co-creation from a place of growth, pain, and everything in between. And today I want to talk about breaking patterns because I'm trying to break some right now, as do our others, and I'd like to give both others and myself grace for trying to break certain patterns and choosing the path of healing above self-preservation and stagnancy and stuckness and resistance. And every single day, every single week, I try to devote myself to what I care about and creating the life I desired. And breaking patterns, well, it's something you can get complacent with. There's definitely a way that you can get complacent and in your comfort zone about it, not even in a victimhood kind of way, but you can just get stuck in ways and take one step forward, two steps back kind of a thing. Because I was a pro at breaking patterns before, I'd cultivated enough self-awareness, discernment, and adaptability through certain patterns breaking and addictions changing in a constructive way. But over time, my locus of control became entirely external to a degree where I got too in my head and too clouded in other people's judgments about what I should do with my life. And then I internalized all of that stuff to create something that was not my life. These past 3 years have been a detour of the lower dimensional reality I was navigating. And I feel like for the kind of individuality I've raised myself with, for the kind of self-perception I've cultivated, for the kind of subjective experiences I've curated in my life, they cannot possibly understand my prerogative and my path. In any which ways, you're the only person who can truly self-validate yourself because you are the combination of all the unique traumas, pain, upbringing, experiences, and the feelings and the subjective emotions you experience in your reality. So I've been trying to break those patterns. So I've been actively healing and working on my fearful-avoidant attachment a lot and heal this aspect of my life. So if you constantly try to shame people, judge people, or reject people for who they are, or even yourself, and you identify as somebody who doesn't like people and tries to find the worst in them or tries to look for flaws, you're not going to cultivate the kind of social intelligence needed to bond with people. You're going to bail before you get the chance to create lasting bonds. And fearful avoidant attachment makes us feel like we're not safe to be seen or safe to sustain that bond. But when we get it, when we get the closeness and intimacy and safety we so deeply crave, we tend to run from it. So in order to feel safe in sustaining that, we have to believe that we are worthy of safe and healthy connections, that we embrace our needs and put them into careful consideration like they matter, and not run from closeness when we do get it. Because we can tend to suppress our own needs when we feel it's unsafe to express them. We have to create the kind of emotional glue to be able to bond with people and not look for flaws when our desires seem threatening to our own psyche. Love doesn't exist, or all men cheat, or all women lie, are moral binary thinkings that do not serve us, and the truth is often nuanced and layered. We can't be so set in our ways. We have to slow down, take a deep breath, and be like, this is the love that I want, and this is what I choose to devote myself to in order to get it. So, as I was channeling this wisdom from my inner self and reading my tarot card pulls, I discussed with my therapist about it, and she told me that we need to create a blueprint to experience love in all its forms: romantic, spiritual, platonic, and unconditionally loving feelings towards self and others. So, we both created a blueprint together that will help us tap into and access more loving feelings towards self, others, and life itself. And here's the blueprint: you have to embody more love and courage rather than fear and limitation. Fear is not a wall, it's a womb. It's gestating you into something that you need to birth. You need to birth a reality. You need to create a reality in which you feel safe to be seen and safe to sustain that connection. When fear traps you in walls, you have to open doors, and you have to say yes to opportunities, even if they stretch you or cause minor discomfort, because our nervous system is so dysregulated. We can take up minor discomfort as danger, but it's not danger. You have to attune to your feelings, you have to attune to your true intuition and regulate yourself and kind of adjust your expectations to match up with the reality. And for life to speed up, sometimes you have to learn to be present and slow down to better navigate the shifts happening around you. Engage with every task done throughout the day with utmost presence, focus, and meaning. Rather than being result oriented, be process oriented, as it makes you more susceptible to recognizing the loveliness when it presents itself. When you experience creative flow, or like flow that is beyond reason, that is inexplicable, and wisdom that flows through you like it's coming from the beyond, it is directly tied to how you feel in your mind, body, and spirit. And how I will correlate it to the senses. Like, we have 5 senses, right? We have the sense of smell, taste, touch, hearing, and sight. And we also have the 6th sense. So I like to believe there are several senses that are not scientifically in a Western context recognized, but they do exist because I have had first-hand experiences with those senses. So as you attune more to those senses and stimulate those senses and stimulate grounding that wisdom into the mind, into the body, you feel a creative flow of inspiration flowing through all of those senses, and you're able to better relay information as it flows through you. Making good decision means checking in with yourself to see if it aligns with you. This is also a part of the blueprint. It's like checking in to see if a certain decision that you really need to think over actually aligns with you. Being more attuned to having loving experiences by trying to find the good in every person, place, thing, and life itself. The next point is embracing your needs and wants for a more promising and fulfilling life. You can't suppress your needs and wants. If you don't admit that you want the thing, you can't afford to be nonchalant about it. If you don't admit that you want the thing, you're never gonna put yourself in a position to experience that thing or feel worthy of it, at least in a healthy way. So the next point is no repression, immediately slowing down and taking the means necessary to process and release trauma and integrate lessons and transform it with wisdom in its place. So, building self-trust through trusting your intuition, even if it doesn't have objective logic attached to it yet, and being handsomely rewarded for it, this has never failed me. I tell you, this has never failed me. This is coming through a first-hand lived experience that trusting my intuition has never failed me. Gain clarity without judgment and shame, ability to clock things without rudeness, hesitation, and instead practicing clocking with detachment and kindness. Rewiring the nervous system for a sense of safety and ease is the next point. And to create a wellspring of abundance, you might have to be frugal at times to cultivate wealth and reap the rewards later. Wealth in all its forms, abundance in all its forms, even monetary. But you have to be, of course, responsible and accountable. The next point is jumping out of fear and negativity relatively quickly in comparison to previous instances. The next point is realizing the value and purpose of your dreams and never losing sight of the bullseye. And I intend for this video to reach the right audiences, and this is what I like to affirm with all my creatives today, is that we wholeheartedly deserve an audience to be loved, seen, and celebrated in our creative processes. My spiritual truth is one of love and connection above self-preservation and hiding. And this is the affirmation break that I'd like to affirm with all the creatives watching my video today. and we have to reprioritize what matters to us, the next point in the blueprint. And to access that fresh new energy of magic and wonder, open yourself up to receiving synchronicities, or set the intention to receive synchronicities so that you may understand that magic still exists, and if you're open to noticing and slowing down. Releasing shame, guilt, and other burdens that have been weighing on you, and self validation for paths that others haven't been able to validate properly. Trusting in oneself and one's capabilities to create the life that they desire. Not being afraid of change and creating forward momentum to shed parts of you your soul is aching to let go of. These were the last few points of that blueprint. And I feel like it's a really cohesive, holistic, rather abstract. There's no practical application of these. You just have to understand them, reread them, integrate them into your mind, and apply that wisdom. I don't have actionable tips right now per se because I'm still learning, but I need to create a system and a framework to give those actionable tips and also apply them first in my own life before I share them. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.